you're watching World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sasha Farbach. Poland's population has dropped by nearly 90,000 in just the past 6 months. New figures released last week by Statistics Poland show that for every 10,000 people, the country lost 23. Now, birth rates continue to fall while death rates rise, painting a concerning demographic picture. Today, we'll dive into the many challenges behind these numbers, from economic struggles to cultural shifts, and explore what this means for the future of Poland. To help us understand it all, we're joined by Filip Pazderski, Civil Society Program Manager, Stefan Batory Foundation. Thanks so much for joining us. Welcome to TVP World.
Good morning.
Filip, let's start with these figures that we have, as I said, from GUS, so Statistics Poland. Now, if we're looking at the fertility rate amongst women, it's one of the lowest in Europe, perhaps the lowest, falling just about to 1.10 children per woman. So give us your take. Why have we arrived at this? What are some of the underlying causes here?
So, as usual, in such cases, it's a complex situation. So, first of all, we have to observe that in general, we may say that in most of the countries, if not almost all the countries of the so-called Western world, including Europe, USA, but also like more developed countries in the world, we are observing that the fertility rate is decreasing for many years, actually. So this is and we may name it that this is the cause of this is related to the development, to the civilization change, to the cultural changes that are ongoing. So it's really a long-term process. But in addition to that, we can observe, we can see some other reasons for the situation we have right now in Poland. That also includes political changes and economical changes. What we can see over the last couple of years that started before the COVID is the economical depression. Especially in the last years, we can see large. Relatively large inflation, what is increasing the costs of living, what is changing the access to the housing, to affordable housing. The situation on the labor market is changing, so it's much more difficult especially for young people, to get good, well-paid job in their work, according to their education, and this is also influencing decisions that are being made by young people if they want to have children or not. Additionally, what have happened in last years is the political change, or actually legal change, that was undertaken by our previous government, which together with the Constitutional Tribunal, they restricted abortion in the country. What influences, on one side, large protest in the society, but on the other hand, what we can see is that there is a portion of women that are claiming they don't feel secure to have children in the country, because they don't feel that if something went wrong, they will be properly treated, they will be understood, and they will be able to have abortion if the unborn child is not, if something is wrong with the unborn child, and so on and so forth. And however, maybe to finish with that, yes, because there is also a research that was conducted last autumn called The State of the Youth. And there, the authors, they asked actually young people, if they plan to have children. And we can see that around 20%, so 1/5 of the youth population, they claim that they do not plan at all to have children. So then they were asked, why you think so? And we can see that amongst the 3 most important causes that were named, it was like multi-answer question, but 30% say, 40% from this 20 that said they do not plan to have children, they said that actually they don't like children. So this is also part of the kind of like free decision of the young people. And then additionally, large number, 38% said that they don't want to change their style, their lifestyle, and only after 10 percentage points less claimed that they have a feeling that actually it may be related, it may cause in Poland a threat to their life, or at least it can be something dangerous.
Well, I mean, you've listed several factors here, from economic reasons, cultural shifts, also in youth, and also some of these things I connect with abilities that the government and steps the government can take to alleviate them. What do you think in terms of what the government's currently doing, what they have been doing? There seems to be a shortfall here. What can the state still do at this point to help encourage more in terms of actual family planning? I mean, if we're looking also that 500 plus, the cash back, the 800 plus, zloty, that was considered by some not really to have that impact that was desired. So what went wrong there, and what ultimately has the government learned from this, and what's the next step here?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I'm sorry, it's a very good example that you picked with this 50 plus 800 plus cashback for each child in the family that was actually adopted by the previous government in the country, which initially actually what we could observe was some increase in the fertility rates right after it was adopted, but actually it was ongoing only for maybe 1-2 years, and then the fertility rates started to drop down again. So first of all, I mean, what we can see from this lesson that was learned by Poland is that it's not only about money. Or at least if it is about money, if it is about being able to afford having children, it needs to be enough amount of money. And apparently in Poland, this amount was soon started to be too small. So actually, this mechanism that was adopted in 2016, if I remember correctly, it was actually effective in more decreasing the extreme poverty, and also only initially. And then, as I said, with the inflation starting growing, also due to the large public spending, it occurred that actually this 500 Polish zloty, then it was extended to 800 zloty. It became a very small amount of money, not really relevant to the costs that parents need to bear when they are raising children. Mm-hmm. Which are much higher, and this was also related to growing expectations, because also there is a cultural, societal pattern that demands from parents that they really spend a lot and invest a lot in their children. It has really changed a lot over the last, I would say, 10, maybe 20 years in Poland with the development of the country. Mm-hmm. So
I want to ask you on one thing, if I may, Filip. Sorry, you mentioned a point there which I want to dig on a little bit, because you said parents wanting to invest in their children. So this obviously is clearly important also for education. Education is one of those areas. There seems to be also a gap between men and women in terms of the educational gap, very much, not just only in Poland, but let's focus on that for a minute. How much is that also a factor here in terms of moving forward, looking at how this affects fertility and settling down with family?
So, I mean, definitely there is an issue also when you talk about changing cultural patterns and societal changes in Poland. We can observe that somehow, especially when it comes to the young people, somehow, I mean, the mindset, the level of education, the way of thinking, I mean, including the values of young people and young women and young men are going into different directions. When young women are getting more educated, they are following more liberal values. They are more often also moving to large cities in order to get education, but then also to find find jobs and find their places for living. It's more often that young men are not following the same. They are kind of left behind, and of course it also creates problems with creating partnerships or families. And this we can see also from the research, that actually young people are saying quite often that it's really difficult to find a good partner, and it's much more often for young women than for young men, because it's because of the expectation. Also, it's because of these differences between these both groups. But so this is definitely very, very important. And I would also add, if I may, also to answer your previous question, if it is a good time, because what the government should secure is actually the security is a very good word for that, because people need to have a feeling that they really have a security in their life. Mm-hmm. They have security in their working life. They have security in their when it comes to the housing. They also have enough support from the public institutions when it comes to the kindergartens, schools, and so on and so forth. What we can learn from the countries that went through the same or are going through the same problems is actually providing all these amenities, all these public services that actually helps young people also to have a feeling that if something will get wrong, if they will need to work more or find more money for their living, they would have access to the possibilities in the market, in the public institutions, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Just briefly, we're coming towards the end here, but I want to still know, if looking at other countries around the world, looking at Germany, for instance, also faces demographic problem, looking at countries like Japan just as well. So if we compare that to Poland, are there any sort of, now in closing, models that, let's say, are something that Poland can follow, any lessons that can be drawn from any of these other countries?
Yeah. As I said, I think the quite good example is Germany. That actually their fertility rate is not that well still, as far as I know, but it's well better than Poland has. And actually, Germany also they face problems for like some years ago, well before Poland. And one of the issues, as I know, in Germany was the fact that there was very large societal expectations from the women. So the women had to provide all the security, all the care about children, and really the society demanded that. And what it causes for the woman was a large level of stress, what was also causing deciding not to have children or postpone this decision, and it was causing the low fertility rate. So many things have been done in Germany to change this cultural patterns, also to provide support, not only this child benefit, because the Germany adopted this mechanism before Poland, but they also organized the whole system of support, access to the facilities, to the public institutions.
So there is, I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Filip. I mean, there are many different things. I know that we'll have to analyze another stage at another time, but look, really appreciate all that really valuable information on this topic. Thank you so much. That was Filip Pazderski. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching. That concludes World Talks, but stay tuned right here on TVP World for more. Goodbye.